सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री Gurave Namaha. Today, before starting the class, let us have one story which is a very unique story, and that is going to be explained to us by Nayana. Nayana, go ahead.
Hari Om everyone. Today I'll be explaining the story of Gajendra Moksha. So next slide. So I'm not going to tell exactly the story of Gajendra Moksha, as all of us know the story of Gajendra Moksha. So there was a king of elephants named Gajendra, and he with his companions went to a river to bath. In that river, a crocodile was living, a very mighty one. Then Gajendra went a little deeper than his followers, and the crocodile saw him and bit his leg, and he could not move for several hours. Everyone saw the crocodile and were really frightened to help Gajendra. So when this happened, Gajendra was trying all his will, whatever he could, to do as shown in the picture. So he tried whatever he could to free himself, but he failed. So next slide, please. He calls Vishnu, and at this time, Vishnu is with Lakshmi in Vaikunta. And then he hears Gajendra's call. So next slide, please. Yeah, he hears Gajendra's call and asks him to wait and start walking without telling anything. Lakshmi's part of the sari which is behind her gets stuck to Vishnu's bracelet, and it's pulled with Vishnu, and Lakshmi does not understand what is happening. So next slide, please. So Vishnu is just running. He doesn't know what is happening. No one knows what is happening. Behind him, Lakshmi, and behind Lakshmi, their servants, and behind the servants are the ayudhas, or the weapons of Vishnu, which are the Shankar, Chakra, Gada, etc. And then behind them is Garuda. Behind Garuda are Narada and Jaya and Vijaya, the guardians of Vaikunta. They just keep following Vishnu. So next slide. So, and Vishnu comes with his by using his chakra, he frees Gajendra by cutting the crocodile's neck and freeing Gajendra. Gajendra offers a flower or a lotus which is there in the river to Vishnu. Vishnu accepts it, and then, as shown in the picture, then only Garuda arrives to see the whole thing, and he understands that Vishnu had left the chamber to just protect his devotee who was in very much pain. So next slide, please. I hope you all could understand this, as this is a very local story of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. It's very local to the villages, and it's not popularly said. I hope all of you could understand this. Hari Om.
Thank you very much, Nayana. It's a good story. And we all know that Vishnu will come to help in whatever form, if the prayers are from the heart. The devotee is fully devoted to Vishnu, and that's how we are seeing this Vishwarupam. So what do we understand by Vishwarupam? Or another word which we have learned from this 11th chapter is Divya Chakshu. Vishwarupam means not just the good, the not so good part of the creation. And who has created this creation? None other than Vishnu, the God who sustains everything. Now God can be compared to sunlight, because we cannot see God physically, but sunlight can be seen every day, and it doesn't fall separately, or it doesn't distinguish between a thief or a policeman, a good water or dirty water, a good person or bad person. It just falls or gives sunlight equally to everyone. The same way, Lord Vishnu, when Arjuna saw his roop, and that time he thought only good things will be there. God cannot be bad. God cannot have other aspects. This is what is called Vishwarupam, entirety of God. How did he see it? Do you remember this Divya Chakshu? Now it is a mental attitude, not that you get to see like this child who is seeing a 3D movie, and this is the Chakshu or the specs, what it's called 3D goggles. So it is not a physical thing, it is a mental thing that we should have. We should have this always, not like I have sometime and then I don't have when I want to fight with someone. I should keep the goggles away. It is not that type of goggles. This is just for our understanding that when we use 3D goggles, we see characters in different forms and they're coming near to you. Same way, when we have a mental attitude towards seeing God, God is seen in each and every one of you, each and everything around you, and there is no place where God is not there. That is called Divya Chakshu. Now, what happened to Arjuna when he had received this Divya Chakshu?
ದಿವ್ಯ ಚಕ್ರ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದಾಗ ಏನಾಯ್ತು ನೋಡು, ಲಿಸನ್ ಮಾಡು ಅನ್ನು.
Yeah. So, what happened to Arjuna when Divya Chakshu was given? So, he was first completely awestruck. He was in amusement when he saw it. Then slowly when he saw the Vishwarupam was changing into bad forms, like it was killing some people, the near and dear ones of Arjuna were getting into the mouth of Vishnu, then he was trembling, he was fearful. And finally, he begged Krishna, please Krishna, you please take out my goggles. I don't want this Divya Chakshu. I want to see you again in your form. That's where we stopped in the last class. And today's class, let us see what happens and what God bestows the blessings on Arjuna after he takes away the Divya Chakshu. Let us see. Let us see. Go ahead. Swastik, your verse first.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Next slide. Now, first, I will chant my verse before everything. Adrishtaपूर्वं हृष्टोऽस्मि दृष्ट्वा
पूर्वं शिशिदस्मि
भयेन च प्रव्रियन्त मनो मे
Bhaena
च
मनो में
मे
तदेव मे दर्श्य देव देवरूपम्
Tadeva me darshaya devarupam.
देवरूपम्
प्रसीद देवेश जगन्निवास
प्रसिद्ध
देवेश जगन्निवास.
Yeah. Now, the literal meaning of this verse goes as follows. Having seen your universal form that I had never seen before, I feel great joy, and yet my mind trembles with fear. Please have mercy on me and again show me your pleasing form, O God of gods, O abode of the universe. Now, what this explanation tries to tell us is what were the different emotional stages of Arjuna during this screening of the god of gods, Vishwarupa, the true form. Now, at first, he is curious at what he wants. He is curious to see what is the true form of the Lord. He has seen Krishna as a dark skinned man who has been wearing his crown many a times, seen wearing a simple dhoti. But he was not he was not pleased with this. He wanted to see the true form. Now, listening to his pleas, Krishna did as follows and showed him. After that came his awe-stricken form. He was not able to much comprehend what was going on. Yet he had first not comprehended what was actually going on, and yet he was simply awestruck by the beautiful form, the million hands, the million heads. And then came the claustrophobic, as I might place it, whereas he started feeling a million presences at once, if not more presences. He felt everyone's presence and everything. He felt a million pairs of eyes around him, staring at him in expectance. And then came the fear of this horrifying form. After that came the pleading. He asked for Krishna that if I have ever called you by your wrong name without knowing your kingly status, please forgive me. So now this is the final part of what happens, and this is what has happened until now. And now he asks Krishna in the second part of this verse to show him his human form again, the one that we all know and love, the normal Krishna. Thank you so for giving me this verse. Thank you everyone as a whole.
So we have seen Arjuna even before in second chapter that he's begging that I didn't understand why I came to fight. Whenever he was in trouble, Krishna was saving him. This is second time he has the same feeling. He is completely awestruck. That time he was confused. This time it is awestruck, means he was shocked to see such a form, such a very huge form. But these are the two times when he is having this total type of surrender to God, and he now surrenders. So this is the meaning, this is the understanding of this verse, that he is completely given surrender to God. Whenever you are surrendering to teacher, you will get in abundance. You will get the blessings. And if you don't surrender, then that might be that whatever teacher is trying to teach you may not come completely through you. So let us see what happens to the next verse, what Pragna is going to say about it.
Hello everyone. Today I'll be chanting the 9.46 verse. I hope you all like it. So next thing, I request you all to chant after me. Kiritinam gadinam chakrahastam.
Kiritinam
gadinam chakrahasta.
Ichchami tvam drashtumaham tateva.
Ichchami
tvam drashtumaham
Tenaiva rupena chaturbhujena.
Tenaiva rupena chaturbhujena.
Sahasrabaho bhava vishwamurte.
Sahasrabaho bhava vishwamurte.
Thank you, everyone. The literal meaning of the verse goes as follows. O thousand-armed one, though you are the embodiment of all creation, I wish to see you in your four-armed form, carrying the mace and disc and wearing the crown. So this is basically a continuation and a more elaborate version of how Arjuna actually feels about Krishna from the previous verse. So by his special grace and with the Divya Chakshu, Arjuna has been shown the cosmic form of Vishwarupam, which is definitely not very easy to see by people. So Arjuna has realized that Sri Krishna is much more than his friend, his companion, his guru. He is the universe, and he is the one who creates, destroys, and maintains the universe. So, but even despite all this, he definitely respects Krishna, and he's completely awestruck, as Satunsa said, by the form, but he's not attracted. He's not. He doesn't feel that closeness of how he used to feel when Krishna was in his humanly form. So, and the main thing about Arjuna here is he's not interested in something called Aishwarya Bhakti. So, Aishwarya Bhakti, what the main thing in Aishwarya Bhakti is basically the sentiment of awe, so, or surprise, or and in such devotion, there's always a feeling of remoteness present, like you cannot connect with the God. So we have the people who follow Aishwarya Bhakti have this very urge, have the urge to maintain a property of of discipline or conduct. Like they should not cross the limits with God. It's like how you speak to your friend and how you speak to the principal of your school. So if a principal has called you to talk about something, you're very stiff and you choose your words carefully before you speak. While with your friends, you're very casual, and you express yourself without thinking too much. So Arjuna didn't want this. He wanted that closeness he had with Krishna. He didn't want to be all stiff and rigid, and he wanted Krishna to guide him. So, addressing Lord Krishna as Sahasrabahu, which means thousand armed one, Arjuna is now specifically requesting Krishna to say Chatur Bhuj Roop, or the four-armed form of Lord Krishna. He doesn't want to see this like extravagant form of him anymore. He wants him to return to a simple form and continue to be by his side. So the realization that Krishna himself is the Paramatma of the universe and the force behind the Panchabhuta, the creator of the creators, as I explained last time, he was someone present even before the creator who we know as Brahma. He is present even before him. And he is the Shrishtikarta, the creator of the universe. He is the Palaka, the one who maintains it, and also the Samharaka, who ends the particular yuga. So this so much knowledge was overwhelming to Arjuna. He got scared almost, and that's why he requested Paramatma to come back to his normal form. So next slide. So Paramatma appears to him as Chaturbhuja, Abhaya Hasta, holding the sword, disc, and mace. And we see Chaturbhuja mentioned in this verse, right? So the number 4 is actually very significant in our ancient texts and Hinduism in general, because almost many of the significant things have 4 in them. Our Vedas are 4, the Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, and Atharva Veda. We have the 4 ashramas, and our Varnas also are 4 in nature. So in the four-armed form, Sri Krishna appeared before Arjuna on another occasion as well. I'm just adding this as a fun fact. So when Ashwatthama had massacred all the 5 sons of Draupadi and the Pandavas, Arjuna had captured him and tied him up, and he had brought him in front of the Draupadi and all the other Pandavas. And that time also Krishna had come into his Chaturbhuja form. So from the Bhagavad Gita, there's this little extract I would like to say. Nishamya Bhima Gaditam Draupadyascha Chaturbhujaha Alokya Vadanam Sakyur Idam Aha Hasan Niva. So the translation goes as follows. The 4-armed Sri Krishna heard the statements of Bhim, Draupadi, and the others who were grieving about their now dead sons, and then he looked to his dear friend Arjun and he smiled. He gave him reassurance, and he said that Ashwatthama will definitely face the karma of what he has done. So this is one more instance to say that Arjuna wants to see that friendliness back in Krishna, and not this form where he can see so much going on in front of him where he can't process it. So next slide. So ultimately, Arjuna makes a prarthana to Bhagavan to resume back his Purva Rupa, or his human form, or at least the Chaturbhuja form, which is an embodiment of peace, serenity, and opposite to the Rudra Rupa, or where he wishes to see Krishna and his calm demeanor, and where his wise words, his wit, and everything peaceful about Krishna. So I hope you understand this verse. I name Adam and Hari.
Thank you very much. Excellently presented. And that's what we all want, isn't it? At home, you see your mother, she can take different forms, isn't it? She can be angry sometimes, she can be very stern, she can be very, very cool sometimes, or she can be very good to you. But which form do you want? What, Anvit? Which form do you like to have your mother be in?
Always cool.
Always cool. So that's what Krishna's cool form is what Arjuna is asking for. But you have to realize that even though you can get cool form, but if you behave like a child always, then you will get the Rudra form. So as we see in Prahlada also, when he called for help, Narsimha Avatar came in a very Rudra form. And so we should all understand, when we are good, you will see good. When you are cool, you will see cool. If you are trying to do naughty things, you will see hot action. So remember this. Now finally, Arjuna gets the form what he wants, and now you will see what Krishna has to say. Once the teacher understands that the
Sir,
student
correct.
is ready, then he will get the benefit. Yeah, someone is want to say
He will
something.
be cool. Hmm?
Meaning first air kodu.
I think you are not muted, Anvit. Okay, so let us see what Krishna gives, what he bestows on Arjuna. Aditi, over to you.
Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Shri Bhagavanuvacha
Shri Bhagavan
Maya Prasannena Tavarjunedam
Maya
Maya
Prasannena
prasannena
Tava
tavarjunedam
Rupam Param Darshitam Atmayogat
rupam darshitam atmayoga
Tejomayam Vishwamanantamadyam
tejomayam vishwamanantamadyam
Yanme Twadanyena Nadrishtaपूर्वम्
yanme tadanyena drishtam
The Lord said, O Arjuna, by my power, this supreme form has been shown to you by me, who is pleased with you. Such a form of mine, which is radiant, universal, limitless, and primal, has not been seen by anyone other than you. Next slide, please. In the previous verse, Arjuna had confessed to take the Divya Chakshu or the 3D goggles back. Krishna withdraws or takes these 3D goggles back. We must understand here that Divya Chakshu or the Vishwarupa is being taken away. That means Arjuna is going back to the worldly surroundings, which in other words is samsara. The Lord says, by grace, I am showing all of this to you by grace. I'm not showing it to you for you to feel frightened or scared. I'm doing it for your understanding. Krishna says this very form is radiant, universal, limitless, and primal. And this has not been visualized by anyone else besides you. But why Partha or Arjuna? Because he has the God's grace. So, in conclusion, we can state that anyone with sincere devotion towards Lord will receive the Divya Chakshu for enlightenment. Thank you, Hari Om.
Excellent, very nicely explained. And anyone who really wishes to see the Divya with the Divya Drushti, God will give that grace. And now that he has taken it back, he is giving his reason why he has taken this form and how lucky Arjuna is. That's what he's trying to say here. Furthermore, verses will also put some light on this aspect of Lord Vishnu, the Vishwarupam form. Let us see what Moksha has to say. Moksha, please chant and then we'll chant after you.
न वेद्यज्ञ ध्ययनेर्न दाने
न
वेद्यज्ञाध्ययनैर्न दानौ
वेदे
न च क्रियाभिर्न तपोभिरुग्र
न
न
च
क्रियाभिर्न तपोभिरुग्रैः एवं रूपं शकय अहन्नृलोके
एवं रूपं शक्य लोके
द्रष्टुं तद्दनयेन कुरु प्रवीर
दृष्टुं त्वदन्येन कुरु प्रवीर
neither by study of the Vedas and Yagyas, nor by charity, nor by rituals, nor by severe austerities can I be seen in the form in the world of mortals by anyone other than you, O Arjuna.
When you finish moksha, you should say Hari Om. So we know that you have completed the verse.
सर अभी और भी था
क्या था? मेरे पास पीपीटी जो आया वो ठीक से नहीं आया, तो मैंने ये बनाया है. आपको पढ़ के बोलना है, कहीं पर से पढ़ के बोलिए.
ओके सर
Okay. So, children, what is understood is, if Vishwarupam is to be seen, you have to have devotion. And is there a shortcut to it? Is there a way that we can get a shortcut and see? No. God says there is no such shortcuts like yajna, dhanam, tapam. All that things is not at all going to give you Vishwarupam. Like you do lot of charity and try to get lot of punyam. No, that is not the way to see Vishwarupam. The only way is to have lot of shraddha in whatever you are doing for Lord. Every action of yours should be dedicated towards the feet of Lord. Means what? Whatever you are, in whichever position you are, even if you are in the class, even if you're taking a single verse, try to make sure that you are dedicated to it as if it is you're going to present to Lord. What does a present mean? It is a gift. When you are going to do that way, the devotion itself will speak. The devotion in return will give you the Divya Chakshu. But no other shortcuts. Like if you read lot of books or you do lot of tapas or you do lot of homam, no. That's what is made clear in this verse by Krishna. We have seen how it happens in the last verse by devotion, and in this verse, why it cannot happen with all this. Let us see what is the last verse today. Ankita, go ahead.
हरि ओम ऑल माते व्यथा माचे विमूढ़ भावो
माते
विमूढभावो
चट्टुवारूपं घोरमीं ममेदं
दृष्ट्वा रूपं घोरमीडं ममेदम्
व्यपेतभिप्रतिमना पुनस्तवम्
व्यपेतभिवृत्तं मनः पुनस्त्वम्
तदेव मे रूपमिदं प्रपश्य
तदेव मे रूपमिदं प्रपश्य.
In the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, when Arjuna was worried about killing his grandfather Bhishma and teacher Drona, then Krishna gave him Divya Drishti. Krishna showed his universal form to Arjuna just to show him that these people were already killed for their unlawful action. After seeing the Vishwarupam, Arjuna was afraid with fear. In this verse, Lord Krishna is trying to calm down Arjuna. Krishna asked him not to be afraid and be free from fear with a cheerful heart. Then Lord Krishna saw him his Chaturbhuj Rupam with 4 hands. Hari Om. Thank you.
So, Ankita, the chanting Ankita and Moksha, or those who are not able to chant well, I will once again send the link for where you can learn chanting. Okay? And whenever you get a verse, you should try to by heart it, chant it before the class, not that you chant first time in the class. Okay? All of you, I will send once again in the group. Please chant well, because if you remember few verses also, it is good enough from 701 verses. So we come with this to the end of the class. We will chant our Purnamada, and then I want the volunteers for the next and last class of 11th chapter. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Guru Namaha. Okay, who are the takers for the next class? Let me see. Let me.
Hari Om, sir.